Hola mis serenitas, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Chiquita Serenita, and today we're doing a review, first impressions and swatches of Beauty Creations Remi Circus Clown palette. This is the eyeshadow palette. This is the one with the clown girl on the front. Now this is the one that I don't know if you guys watched my other video, the one with the ringmaster. I specifically said that I bought all three palettes, but this is the one that I really didn't look like forward to doing, you know, because it has a lot of pastel colors in here. And if you guys have been watching me for a while, I'm not too fun about pastels. I mean, I will buy a palette and try it out, but it's not my go-to. It's not like I look at that palette full of pastels and be like, I want that palette, you know? If it's ColourPop, I don't know, I get sucked in with pretty much anything ColourPop, but other companies, not so much. They did have like a sale, like, you know, a whole bundled set thing going on for like $55, I think, for all three, something like that. Each one cost $19 each palette, and it was just, I figured, okay, I'll just buy all three, you know, and give it a shot or whatever. So it does come with the girl in the front. It's very pretty. The whole, you know, artwork that they put into the packaging is very pretty. And in the back it just says Remi Circus Clown Eyeshadow Palette, net weight 35 grams. It is made in China. It does come with a slip, you guys. The slip is this one. It has the exact same thing. The only difference is in the back that it has a number sequence with the shadows in there, right? The shadows inside the palette have no name, so they just come like numbered like that, even though nobody's gonna look at it and say, hey, this is shadow number 1, this is eyeshadow number 2, this is 3, 4, 5. I don't think anybody does that. I sure as heck not gonna do that. When you open up the palette, it does have a circle mirror, and it has a little plastic film protecting the mirror. It says Beauty Creations up here, and it has this really nice, you know, circus type of balloon thing going on. And these are the tones in here. These are the shade tones in here. Like I said, there's a lot of light colors. There's a lot of bright neon light ones, pastel ones in here. The eye look that you see on my eye right now is from this palette. And I didn't go for the obvious light colors. I mean, I went for the colors that draw me in, right? I like the darker colors. So I use this one right here, which is a very purple. It actually matches a lot with the same shirt that I have on. It's like a dark plummy purple right here. It's a matte with glitter, and the glitters don't stay on, just in case anybody's wondering. When you put it on the eye, I did have a little tiny bit of problem blending out. I thought it was like a little bit patchy. It's not that it's patchy. I think it just needs more time, you know, blending, diffusing it out. So it did eventually blend out very pretty. I did use the Juvia's Place eyeshadow primer. I don't know if that made a whole lot of difference. Maybe, I think it did, because it's a stickier type of primer versus ABH, what I normally use. And that one's more of a matte type one. That's been my experience anyways. I think it actually works better with these shadows, the Juvia's Place ones, versus if I would have used, you know, the ABH, what I normally use. So that is the one that I use for my transition. I did use this one right here. This one actually is not a buttery type of shimmer. It is a shimmer with glitter, so it's like a pressed pigment, but it's on more of the light, matte, like powdery side. It did not like not like this one. This one, it glided on like butter. That green you guys see, or that teal, it's this. This is the turquoise one that I use. That is like butter. I use that one right up here in this corner, outer corner, and then I did darken up the, you know, smoky right here in the outer corner with this dark brown. That's a dark matte brown, which I'm glad that they put in there, because who doesn't need a dark matte brown? It's either a dark matte brown or a black. They go perfect in palettes, right? It's like versatile. It makes it so you can make it more of like neutral with a pop of color or something like that, right? Or you can create a smoky eye. That's the whole point of it. And then for my inner corner highlight, I use this one right here. And that it looks like a taupe. It looks like a silvery taupe. I did use this one right here, which is more of like a, this is like a plum type of shimmer. Very pretty. I put that on my bottom lid right here. So I'm going to go ahead with the swatches just to get it out the way. Before I do the swatch, I just want to point out that some of these shadows have little like design on them, just like the other palette that I did show you guys. This one, for example, has a heart. This one has a balloon little design on it. So some of them have balloons, some of them have hearts. This one is a heart, balloon, 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 heart. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is, I don't know, it just looks fine. So I'm going to start with the swatches. You guys know that I start off with this corner right here, and I just go clear across each row until I get to the end of this palette. I will be using both arms because you guys already know the bigger the palette, the more swatches that there is, okay? So just hang tight with me. We'll get through these swatches and then we'll be done with it, okay? The first one, like I said, it is like a silvery, almost like a taupe with a tiny bit of purple in it. It is a shimmer. It is buttery soft. It like glides on like butter. And it has that glare. You know how when you put something on, you're like, wow, I can see it. It's almost glaring, you know, like a metallicness to it maybe. That is a pretty shade right there. And then next you have this soft powdery pink. It's like a baby pink matte. I don't know. I'm not crazy about this one, but I can totally see someone loving that shade right there. I just don't think it's for me. It's too light for my taste. Next you have the opposite of that, which is like a baby blue color, a perfect baby blue color, which, you know, in this palette, it makes sense because it is like a circus type of clown theme going on. It just makes sense to me that they would have that. And look at that, huh? Now we have this green matte. It's like a, I want to call it like a seafoam green. It's very pretty too. You guys, you know what this reminds me? This reminds me of that matte. It's like a matte version of that color that Michaela times Glamlight has in her palette that she calls it the best color. Except hers is a shimmer and this is a matte. But it reminds me a lot of that shade right there. Next we have this bright orange coral matte. It is like a coral color. It's very pigmented. So look at that. Oh my god. Now we have this vanilla white shade. It is a matte as well. I have to build that up right there. Last in that row we have this, it's like a shimmer and it looks like almost like a duochrome because it has this almost like a silver and a gold shift to it. That's what it looks like. And then it has like this tinge of green in it. It looks super cool in person though. Kind of flakish, just so you guys know. I'm putting it on my arm and it's like flaking in the air right now. So just be aware that it probably do that, but it's super cool in person. It looks nice. In the next row, we have this super hot pink shimmer. Just look at that. Who wouldn't want that on their eye? Come on. If you like color, that is, you're going to like that one. That one's super pretty. I want to call this next one a flamingo pink because that's what it reminds me of. It's like this flamingo pink matte. And it didn't come to play. It looks really good. It's showing up really good right now on my arm. Like, wow, look at that. Now we have this lavender purple matte. Ooh. Y'all, with a really good base, this will totally pop. You guys have to remember too, okay, I don't put any primer down on my arms before I put the shadows. So how the shadows are swatching is basically how they would swatch on unprimed lids, right? Like unprimed lids. My lids are always primed before I actually apply anything on there, but for no primer and putting that down, that's actually really, really good pigment, right? Next we have this hot pink matte. Super light. Give that 4 swatches right there. That's a really pretty, it's almost like a fuchsia, right? It reminds me of this hot pink with like a smidge of purple, and that's like a fuchsia right there. Now we have this super lime green yellow. It looks like a lime green. It doesn't look completely yellow and not completely green. So that's why. Chartreuse. That's a good color to compare it to. And it's a matte. Next we have, oh my god, this is such a gorgeous mint. It's a shimmer and it's buttery. It's like super buttery. Look at this. That is a gorgeous mint tone. Like, why? Oh, why didn't I see that? You know, when I do these swatches, I totally get ideas as I'm swatching them. Like, why didn't I notice that, right? Now we have this super green matte. Look at that. Oh my god. That is not playing. That is a super bright green. That's like a neon green. Look at that. That's 2 swatches. Come on. That one with this one, gorgeous. In the next row, we have a pressed pigment. This is a shimmer with glitter, and it is a pink. It's like a dark pink. This one feels a lot like that one that I showed you guys earlier, the one that I used on my eye, which is this one right here. These two feel so similar. They're not buttery smooth, but they feel more of like a matte with glitter and just like a little bit of creaminess from a shimmer, right? It's like 3 things all in one. But like I said, it's more on the drier end because as I'm doing this, I'm like, wow, it's not working like how you normally would put a shimmer where you just rub it on like this. It's more of like a sticky, drier formula. But it's not uncomfortable. I'm not saying it's uncomfortable. It's really pretty. Especially that one that I used right here. It's very pretty when you put it on. It feels different from what a normal shimmer would feel to me. Next to that, we have, I think this is a full-on glitter. I might be wrong. It might be a shimmer with glitter. So like a pressed pigment. Yeah, it's a pressed pigment. You can tell now as I'm rubbing it on. It doesn't look like a quite 100% glitter, but... look at that gorgeous color. It's like a gold. Yeah, it's a gold. It's a straight up gold. That's so pretty though. The next one is another shimmer. And it's like an orange shimmer. It's like a butter. It's like a buttery smooth one. Very, very pretty. It's like a dark peach. Look, like an orange dark peach. Very pretty. I love that one. Now we have this... yeah, this is another pressed pigment, so it's another like shimmer with chunky glitters in there. I wouldn't say chunky, but it's like a medium chunky. That's a gorgeous blue though. Now we have another shimmer. This is a straight up shimmer. But you know what? This one reminds me of like a Super Shock shadow. Only because it's not that solid. It's more on the sheer end. I mean, it does show up clearly, look at. But it's not completely as solid. As I'm rubbing it on there, I'm like, you know what? It's like a light sheer, yeah, compared to the other ones. Next, we're going to do this one. This is such a gorgeous, it's like a gray, gunmetal gray shimmer. Buttery smooth, you guys. It's so freaking pretty. It does feel that it has like glitter in it too. I don't know. It probably is. It's like pressed pigment, but it does feel way more buttery smooth than the other pressed pigments that I've been rubbing on my arm. I'm going to start swatching over here now, okay? So, last in that row, we have that blue that I said I put on, which is, it's a pressed pigment. It's like a shimmer with glitter. And it's more of the dry. It feels very dry. It doesn't feel like as buttery smooth as the other ones that I've been doing. But just look at that gorgeous color. And it does not show up like that on your eye. Let me just tell you guys. I used it and it doesn't look like that. On your eye, it looks more of like a dark blue. And like a dark midnight blue. Which is not bad. It doesn't look as vibrant as this right here. And that's what I'm noticing. That when I put it on my eye, I rubbed it on and it did show up like that. And then it sort of like faded into this really dark blue. Which is like, I'm not hating it, but it's not accurate. So I just like to tell you guys that, just in case somebody thinks, oh, it's so pretty, it's going to look great on the eye, and you put it on and you're like, well, this is a dark blue, it doesn't match what I'm wearing or something like that, right? In the next row, we have this super dark pink matte. Ooh, I love this one. This is such a gorgeous shade. I love these type of pinks. Because these type of pinks really look good on tan skin and darker. They just show up better. They just look so pretty. Now we have this dark neon coral matte. Very funny that this one's reminding me of that coral that I swatched earlier because I'm looking at it and they look very similar. But I think this one's just darker. Yeah, this one's like darker. You guys see how compared to this one right here and this one? This one just happens to be way darker. And pretty much a lot of these ones are you're either having pastel mattes in here or you're having neon mattes. But there's like a ton of mattes. I didn't even count them all, but I'm pretty sure just by the swatches, I'm seeing more mattes than anything else. Which is good, right? A lot of you like mattes compared to shimmers. I just happen to be a huge shimmer person. I go for shimmers more than mattes. Next, we have this very bright bubblegum blue. I like to call it like a bubblegum blue. It's very gorgeous. It is a matte as well, and look at that. Next, we have that turquoise shimmer that I have on my eye right now, and you guys are going to see just how gorgeous this is. It rubs on like butter. Oh my god, look at that. Look at that. It's like this perfect teal jasmine, you know, for Jasmine the Princess. That's like, I put it right here and I was like, ooh, I love it. It's very pretty color, okay? Now we have this pumpkin orange matte. I don't think you could have a circus clown like palette without having a color like this. You know what? And I don't find it upsetting, but I find it kind of weird, like odd in a way, that you would have a circus clown palette, yet you have no reds. Did anybody notice that? There's no red in here. Like, why? Why does she have red on her face? You clearly gave her a red rose, a red nose, red lips, and then there's no red in here. I don't know what to tell you. I find that odd. Okay. Next you have this, this is like a nude. Oh, I don't even like it. What is it even doing in a circus clown? Y'all, you know what? I'm just going to be quiet because maybe there's some of you out there that are going to appreciate there's a neutral in here, right? There's about 2 neutral colors. So there's this brown and then there's a little bit darker brown from here. So if you're the type of person that just like a little bit of color and you want that, something for a transition shade, something normal, not something like colorful like this, then that's going to be perfect, right? Now I'm going to use that plummy, see, this is like an icy plum shimmer. And it is just a very gorgeous icy tone type of shimmer. Very buttery smooth. I actually really love this one. I have this one all down here on my lid and it's gorgeous. It's very pretty. In the next row we have this dark matte. I want to call it espresso brown, but it does look like a black and it's dry and grainy. I had no problem blending out, but I do want to mention that it's like a tiny bit of patchy, right? Like I said, I had no problems with it. On the eyelid, it actually blended out very pretty. Not too much because I've had instances where black can go so wrong or look so right? And if you're not careful with it, you're going to look like a dirty pirate. I look like a dirty pirate plenty of times with black, okay? But that one, honestly, to me, I thought it was just like a dark espresso brown. But now that I'm like swatching it, it does look like a soft matte black. Either way, it's very pretty and nice. It's convenient to have a black in here, right? Next, you have this berry tone type of matte. This one definitely does look patchy. I wouldn't know what to tell you guys how it performs really because I personally didn't use this one. But it does look patchy and it's a matte, okay? Next is a purple shimmer. This is a really pretty, great purple. I really love it. It's like a shimmer with glitter. It does have glitter throughout it. But it's buttery smooth. Look at that. Like, oh. Purple's my favorite color. So every time I see a purple, I just go crazy over it. That's just me, though. Next, we have this matte pink. I don't know why, you guys. I just have a ton of pink in here. I think I counted about maybe 6 pinks in here. 6 pinks, but no reds. I don't know what to tell you. It must be a really pretty and pink clown. Because apparently they couldn't be bothered with adding a red. They added too many reds in the other one, the Ring Master, okay? They couldn't do it with Remi the Clown either. Next we have this gold shimmer. It's a very pretty gold shimmer. It has glitter too. Buttery smooth. I really like this one because it's like blinding, almost a metallic gold. Look at that in your face. It's very, very pretty. And now we have that other brown matte that I mentioned earlier. This one's just more of like this caramel Bambi brown sort of, and it's just like a darker version. You guys see that earlier one, which is like a light nude matte brown, and this one's more of like a dark rich caramel matte. But it is a really nice color to have, right? Especially if you're the type of person that you don't like a whole lot of color and you want maybe like a neutral type of transition shade before you pack on the color. It's nice to have those options in there. Lastly, we have that dusty purple that I had for my transition shade that I used. I'm saying it matches perfectly with my shirt that I have on right now. And it is a matte with glitter. Like, I packed it on, right, on my eye, and the glitter does show up when you pack it on. But when you start blending it out, it blends out to nothing. So if you're expecting to keep those glitters on your eye, I would say don't keep your hopes up, because mine blended away to nothing. But the gorgeous color stayed behind, right? It's a very pretty color. I don't know. I really love that. It's like a twilight purple. Very pretty. Just like I said, that's the only one in here that it's a matte with glitter, and the glitter does not stick, because I don't see any glitter on my eye besides the ones in the pressed pigment that I used. This one or this one. Those ones had glitter already to begin with. The ones with that purple, they did not stay. They did not stay. So that's pretty much it for the swatches, you guys. Hopefully I was able to help you guys. This one surprised me. Honestly, it did. I did not expect to like this palette. Like I said, this was the palette that I wasn't drawn to. I honestly did not want it, because I saw it and I was like, you know what, this just looks so pastel, so freaking light. Those are definitely not the colors that gravitate toward, you know, like, they don't call to me at all. They've never called to me. I don't like those type of light pastel colors. This one surprised me, because I'm like, you know what, it's light, but it's still pigmented, which is good. I think it all matters about your base. Have a really good base for those light tones, and I think you're really going to make those color pops. And the other ones, like, as far as, you know, maybe building up, taking your time, like the one I said, this one is going to need to take your time to blend it out, because it does show up a little bit patchy when I used it as my transition shade. That one's patchy. This one's a tiny bit patchy. I think I had an experience with this one too, a little bit, or that one, I think it was that one, with a little bit patchy when I did the swatch right now. Other than that, I don't think you're going to have any problems. And it really does, what it comes down to, it's $19. $19, you guys. I don't know what people expect for $19. I expect that out of 35 shades, if 2 or 3 are not good, then it's not a deal breaker for me. Because it's not like, if I paid 120, what is it, 125 for Natasha Denona, those expensive ones, I think it's 129 or something like that. Every single color better work in there. If I'm paying that, you know, if I'm paying that, like, it better work. $19 is not exactly what I would consider cheap, but it's not expensive a whole lot either compared to other name brand palettes that are out there. $49, you know, like, come on. Urban Decay for what? The little thingies is like $50 or whatever. If you know makeup palette, then you know makeup. Then I shouldn't have to tell you guys that. Don't expect a whole lot from this. But this brand is actually really good. Affordable. I would consider it affordable. And for 35 shades, only 3 are like kind of patchy. Then it's not, like I said, it's still good. But after time and time again, what I've told you guys in every single one of my videos, at the end of the day, it's your $19 if you want to spend it on this. I think it's good. And if you don't, then don't. You know, that's fine. That's why I do these videos, to help you guys decide if you want it for yourself or you don't want it, right? And this is a really pretty palette. I think it has a lot of potential, especially if you like those light shades, right? So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I'm going to let you guys go. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified each and every time I upload a new video. And until next time, stay warm, stay blessed, and stay magical. Bye, you guys.